Hey everybody, this is just going to be a small disassembly video on how to disassemble the Paramilitary tool. And I'm gonna actually disassemble it. I'm gonna clean out the washers, lube the washers, and clean out the pivot because it's pretty stiff right now. And I'm gonna clean up the G10 scales. I'm gonna wash them with warm water, soap, and an old toothbrush so they get back their grippiness. And I do this every couple of months after when I've been carrying the Paramilitary tool a while. It gets pretty grimy, and that's it's just basic maintenance for me. Of course, this will void your warranty with Spyderco. I don't care personally. I believe that a knife should be open to service by the user, but that's Spyderco's policy. So yeah, whatever. So first we're gonna open up on the lock side, the pivot here. And I don't have Loctite on them because I frequently put it often together. But this time I think I will Loctite the pivot, and yeah, so it gets loose after a while. I don't know if you can see that, but let's see. The Paramilitary tool is a great design. It's a very basic design in my opinion, but it's very well thought of. It's an ingenious design in my opinion, and that's why it's so popular, I believe. And it's become a modern classic. There are a lot of reviews on YouTube by people with better camera, better quality than mine, and everything. But anyways, here you see is the washer, the blade. Here's the pivot on the no, not the pivot, the blade stop. The lanyard hole is actually press fitted. I've taken mine apart so often so I can just pull it out like that. So just pull that off, and then you get the washer, bronze phosphor washer. Don't lose these. And this is how the blade looks in itself. When you close the knife, I'm just gonna show you here how the lock works basically. Let's see. When you close the knife, the tab pulls over here and it holds the blade fast. And the problem is with the compression lock, if you flick it a lot, you will get wear on the blade. Metal touching metal, that generates wear, and even S30V is not immune to that. And of course my macro is not so good on the camera when taking up video, but on the lock side of the lock bar, on this side down here, it creates a burr. And to remove that burr, and that is why the lock gets sticky. To remove the burr, you just take your medium stone from your Spyderco sharp maker, and you gently file it off. And the same thing, just like that, like that. And the same thing you do with your with the down part of the lock. Just file it a bit, and that makes it a little bit smoother, and yeah. So this is, and here is the production year and month. Mine is 0611. So this knife is almost a year old. It looks older, but I've been using it pretty hard. So let's see. And you know, it's really easy to disassemble and assemble it. I mean, I like mechanics and I like taking things apart, but this should be everybody should be able to do that. The G10 part that gets in warm water, soap and a toothbrush, just like that. Here of course is the other part, skeletonized everything. I really like that. It's a great design in my opinion. I don't know if I've shown my let me get it. I have another paramilitary tool. I think I made a video a while ago. This is the grey, like that. I got it from a fellow YouTuber on here. The grey scales are from the Sprint-Run version, and it's the S30V blade. This is really a beater knife for me. I even use this harder than I do with my EDC power tool. And this just proves the excellent design. You know, even if the lock is really far like this, it's not going anywhere. It has blade play, of course, side to side, up and down, because the lock wears on the blade, and that's what generates the blade play. But this lock is not going to fail you because of that. I mean, it can fail, of course, but it's a tough lock. There's a video out there of a guy lock torturing it, so it's a really tough design. And I've tried to sand off the DLC, more or less successful. I'm not happy with it. I'm not gonna do it. I spoke to Michael Janich at Spyderco, and he said that removing the DLC at home with your normal tools is very difficult. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna get I've pre-ordered the green CTS 204P Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and I'm gonna get those in June, I hope. And those have the satin blade, and I'm really looking forward to these because the Paramilitary 2 is my favorite folding knife design, and green is my favorite color. So I'm looking forward to green G10 scales and a satin blade, and of course that super steel that's all the rave about. It's like the equivalent to M390, you know. So I'm just gonna remove blade stop. And you gotta be careful because there are small parts, and these will these love to get lost. So I'm gonna remove the back here. So, and it's not difficult. I mean, these two smaller, the blade stop and the spacer on the back, I don't know what it's called. There are two different sizes, and if you pay attention when you disassemble, you see that the bigger one goes in front and the smaller in the back. So, and the screws are all the same except for the pivot screws, but you can easily identify that. like that. That's the pivot. Here's another washer. I'll put it right here. I'm not going to take apart the pocket clip, and I had some trouble removing the liner earlier. I don't think it has loosened. I don't want to bend it or anything, but no, it hasn't loosened. It sits really well here, but in the back with the lanyard hole. So I'm not going to remove that, but I'm still going to clean it and everything. Yeah. Let's see. I'm not going to take apart the pocket clip either. It's not necessary. That. That's great. You can the scales are changeable. You know, you can have for example, I can have a black, gray one, or I can switch out my good blade with my beater blade, for example, if I want that. You know, this has nicks and scratches and everything. You don't see it because the DLC is actually really tough. It doesn't show wear a lot, but I've cut this one I've cut through those I don't know what it's called. It's twilled insulation in engine rooms for larger ships. It's kind of soft but really tough anti-flammable insulation, so it's very abrasive to the blade. And I've cut off I don't know, just 30-40 square meters of that, the whole engine room, and but it's gone back to razor sharpness, so it's great. That adds to the design, and even though it has blade play, the lock won't fail, and that's great.